Shelling in Rastan. This footage was reportedly filmed in the rebel stronghold over the past few days, where the Free Syrian Army has been trying to defend the city against attacks by forces loyal to the Damascus regime. A ceasefire came into force in Syria over a month ago, but despite the presence of United Nations observers across the country, it's been violated on a daily basis. The UN observer mission's inability to end the violence was demonstrated last week by 2 amateur videos that have been widely relayed online. The first was apparently filmed on Tuesday during a funeral procession in Khan Shikon. It shows a UN observer crawl along the ground to escape security forces' gunfire before being pulled to safety by civilians. The second is said to show a rally held at Aleppo University on Friday. We see students being beaten up by men in uniform under the helpless gaze of a UN observer who shut himself away in a car nearby. As we can see from these banners being waved in recent demonstrations across the country, the observer mission is receiving increasing criticism. Residents in Al-Qasr have asked the observers to stay away. Their previous visit to the region had apparently been followed by a violent wave of repression. So the Blue Helmets have been criticised for their ineffectiveness in ending the violence and also for their general attitude. Some say they've not been cooperating with activists on the ground. In this video filmed in Dera, one of them appears to be refusing to answer questions from an opposition activist. Windows smashed in, burning barricades along the streets, and tense confrontations between police and protesters. Dozens of people were arrested late Sunday night and into the early hours of Monday morning in Montreal, Canada, when, as we can see in these pieces of amateur video footage, a nighttime demonstration descended into riots. Over the past few months, students in Quebec have been protesting against the provincial government's plans to raise tuition fees. The authorities are trying to quell this unprecedented protest movement, dubbed the Maple Spring, and on Friday passed emergency legislation designed to curtail the freedom to protest. But instead of pacifying students, the controversial measures have only served to fuel their anger. Online campaigning against this emergency law is well underway. Student groups have launched an e-petition demanding the law be annulled and say it's gathered over 150,000 signatures in a very short time. Key figures in the movement are trying to coordinate actions, although it is now forbidden and punishable by a fine to launch online appeals for demonstrations. CLAS, for example, a coalition of unions and groups, has removed a calendar of upcoming protests from its website. But other initiatives are emerging on social media platforms. One anonymous service is providing information on future demonstrations, but to avoid being caught out by the emergency law, is advising web users not to attend. Others have taken to Twitter to spread the word without actually saying the words. This microblogger says that he will not be attending the next big rally scheduled to take place around Montreal's Place des Festivals on Tuesday. This amateur footage was filmed on Saturday in the West Bank on the outskirts of Azira al-Qiblia. It shows residents of the Palestinian village confront residents from the nearby Israeli settlement of Yitzhak. At least 3 Israeli soldiers look on as the settlers, armed with pistols and rifles, throw stones and then open fire. One person is seriously injured. Israeli human rights group B'Tselem posted the videos online and has issued a request to arrest and prosecute those involved in the attack, condemning the behaviour of the Israeli soldiers, who appear to have done nothing to try and stop the violence when they should have intervened to restore order. The Israeli Defence Force issued a statement on Monday announcing it will be opening an inquiry, whilst the Palestinian villagers and the Israeli settlers accuse each other of triggering the violence. The clashes were filmed by a villager from Azira al-Qiblia, using a camera supplied by B'Tselem. Since 2007, the NGO has in fact provided 100 or so activists across the West Bank with film cameras, so they can record the human rights violations committed by settlers or the Israeli army and post the footage online. Last month, this video went viral. It shows a lieutenant colonel hitting a Danish national and pro-Palestinian activist in the face. An embarrassing incident for the Israeli army, and the officer ended up being suspended. A famous American soft drinks company has come up with a pretty novel viral campaign to take care of its online promotion. It's enlisted the help of Kyrie Irving, point guard for Cleveland's professional basketball team, disguising him as an old man and sending him out to take on some young players on a public basketball court. He managed to trick most of them, as you can see in this video, which is available to view in its entirety on most video sharing platforms. Dave Herban is a body piercer and tattoo artist from New Jersey in the US, and he came up with a completely crazy idea of implanting 4 small magnets into his arm so he could wear his MP3 player without having to wear a strap. You can see how he went about it in this video, along with the end result. A surprising display of creativity, to say the least, proving, if nothing else, that music really is an integral part of his life.